Hi guys, it's that time again for Record of the Week. This week I have 3 different pieces of music once again. The first piece of music is by French pianist Sofiane. His playing in this video is amazing because it's beautifully played, but it's also extremely universal. He sort of breaks out of this sort of classical mould and brings in this sort of contemporary piano style. I'm not sure actually what you would call it, but it's that kind of piano style that's very emotional, very melodic, and appeals to most people, I would imagine. This actually works extremely well on YouTube, of course, because you have video to see as well. And so it's one of those videos where you start listening to it, and next thing you know, you've been listening to it for like half an hour, because it's not just the music, you get drawn in visually as well, not just aurally. And this video has started making me practice piano again. I don't normally get the time to do it like I would really like to, but this week I've been playing quite a bit because I watched this video and it had a huge effect on me. Once again, like really great music does, it made me work harder and work at the piano. Because I'm not really that interested in playing the piano anymore like I used to be when I was younger. I was obsessed when I was younger, but I'm not really that obsessed at all anymore. But watching that video inspired me to really get down to do some practice again. Also, he has lovely compositions, so they really draw the ear in. As you sort of watch it, the ear gets drawn into this lovely playing, this beautiful music. So that's my first choice this week, and I'm really glad that I listened to this music because, like I said, it's been a great help to me to actually start playing piano and practicing a bit more. My second piece of music is by composer Josef Matthias Hauer. Now, most of you will know that this is my favourite person in music, my favourite composer, and probably the person that I look up to in music. If I'm obsessed with somebody, it'll be this person here. But there's another guy around at the same time called Hauer, and he was also a 12-tone composer, but he generally wrote in tropes. This music has beautiful orchestration with lovely colours, with the brass, with the woodwinds, with the strings. And when you hear this, it's funny because if something like film music didn't exist, you would hear this music in a very different light. You would hear it as music. The problem is with film is that when you hear this sort of music, you generally suddenly think of film, or you think of early films like the 30s, 40s, that sort of thing. And you think of old film music. But it's not, it's much more than that. But I suppose that's the way that we would relate to it in the way that we've all grown up. But when you actually listen to it just as music, like I've been doing, it's amazing. And it must have been amazing at the time when they came out of this music. I know there are a lot of people that don't like it, but anybody that heard it must have been blown away by it. You know, it must have been like, wow, this is, you know, even if you can't quite hear it, you can still grasp the colours, the harmony, the dissonance, the texture, the tension. It's very emotional music. It's not a sort of crass, idiotic kind of thing. It's extremely well composed and well orchestrated. The same as Schoenberg's works, they're extremely well orchestrated. So this work, Romantische Fantasie, from 1925, this is my second work, and most people won't like it probably, but you might hear something in it. And it's interesting if you like 12-tone music, or if you're listening to 12-tone, because you hear the other side of it, the other guy, Hauer, not Schoenberg. Most people only know Schoenberg, they don't really listen to Hauer very much. So that in itself is quite interesting and worth a listen, because you hear the other side of it, and you hear the tropes, as opposed to like Schoenberg's way of thinking. Lastly, of course, I've got my own mate, John McLaughlin, and it's the trio in Strasbourg from 1989. So we have Kai Eckhart on bass, John McLaughlin guitar, and Trillet Gertu on percussion. What's great about this video is the very first track, because John is playing a classical guitar. It's not the Wechster with the cutaway, it's just a classical guitar. And it's not the classical guitar, the Yamaha one, that he used to play in the guitar trio. It's a different guitar. In this first track, it's mainly just chords, but they resonate beautifully. The guitar sounds extremely resonant. I don't know what the word would be. It's just a lovely sound, really beautiful chords, and it works beautifully with the bass and the percussion. it's a lovely sound. You would think that he was going to play the Wexter, you know, and he doesn't. He plays this classical, and I wish he'd play it a little bit more actually, because it's lovely to hear a classical guitar played with a plectrum. Again, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but when it's done well, it's a beautiful sound. This is the track that I've listened to the most. I've listened to the whole thing a couple of times, and it's fantastic. But I love this first track. It's just chordally, it's just lovely to listen to. And it also made me want to buy another classical guitar. You know, just a classical, nothing else, but a really, really good one. Because when you hear the chords, I don't know what it is, it's a lovely, they just sort of jump out of the guitar, the resonance, the sound. It just sounds better than a cutaway. I mean, I don't really like cutaway guitars, to be honest. If I had my way, I wouldn't have a cutaway guitar. But generally it's needed, or a half cutaway, something like that, you know, when it's sort of scalloped out. But yeah, watching this made me want to get another classical guitar, a decent one. So they're my 3 main records of the week this week, or videos of the week, or whatever you want to call them. I'm calling it record of the week at the moment because I don't really have another title. And I want to turn this into a sort of podcast or something at some point, hopefully this year. So at the moment, I'm just calling it record of the week. Anyway, if this video was of any use to you, then please smash that subscribe button, because that really does keep the channel going. Click the like button, because that helps with the algorithm. Click the notification button if you like the video, and write a comment if you want. And I'll see you all in the next video. And thank you for watching.